So continuing on Judy's question from last week, right? The soul versus consciousness versus the mind. So today I'll take you a little deeper into this concept, and we from this we should understand how important and how imperative meditation is for everyone, right? So this question, I'll start from, I'll basically explain 2 3 concepts today. That's what I was thinking I'll do. So the first concept, I keep saying this to many whenever the discussion of this comes up, like, so it's always, the question is, when you enter a dark room, would you turn on the light, or would you say, darkness, go away, for me to turn on the light? I said this so many times. And the obvious answer is, you turn on the light, darkness goes away. But when it comes to the esoteric, when it comes to the essence, when we invite God into our hearts, we assume that we have to have certain serenity, purity, and things like that. And just because of that assumption, just because of that presupposition, we somehow stopping ourselves from that invitation. I have to be something before the grace can enter. Then we make the God very judgmental like us. It becomes a very judgmental, punishing God, not the loving God. So, the whole idea of inviting this higher essence into my heart should not have any pre-notions or preconditions. If I say I am not ready, that means you're never ready. If I say I have to be something for me to invite God into my heart, then I am not ready. I am myself holding that invitation. So then the scriptures say, we must remember this higher, the Lord, all the time. And people often ask me, how can I do it all the time when I'm attending to all this work, when I have to attend to family, I have to cook food for my family, I have to go and, perform my daily duties, I have to go to work, I have to take care of so many things. How can I remember God? In Babaji, in heartfulness meditation, he says, the reason we meditate is to develop constant remembrance, so that we can remember it all the time. And this question keeps coming up again and again. How can I do it all the time? And we find it very difficult. I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why it is so natural and easy also. Because whenever the only faculty we know is the mind, in Sanskrit, the manas. What is that mind? So ever since we are born, what are we doing? Ever since we are born, we are exploring the world outside. And to explore this world outside, we are always using our mind. So mind becomes an instrument of action. Mind becomes an instrument of action. So without the mind, we cannot make any actions in the external world. We cannot solve any problems. We cannot speak. The language is also a mental faculty. All the words we use are the mental faculty. All the decisions we make in our lives are the mental faculty. So we got used to this mental faculty so much. So when it comes to this higher essence, we assume we need to use the same mental faculty. Mental faculty means a deliberate action. Means I have to do something about it. This is where the karma, the action comes into the place. All the karmas, all the actions we perform is at the mental level only. We cannot go beyond mental level to perform an action. So when it comes to remembrance, we assume that we have to use the same mental faculty. Means we have to do something about it. To do something about it, we choose words. We have to have a name for the Lord. We have to have a form for the Lord, because these are all results of the mental faculties only. How can I remember the Lord without a name? So your word, that name, almost became your prop. And because you have to use, again, I'm repeating this mental faculty again and again so that we understand where I am going. I have to use the mind only to say the word. Just like I said, language is another mind's action. Words are mind action. Speaking is the action of the mind. But when mind is absent, what becomes to our presence, or what becomes to our consciousness, is this godly essence. Because now, when the mind is shut down, all external faculties, all external things automatically gets dropped. Then what is remaining is the essence itself, the divinity itself. And where is this divinity? It is in everyone, in everything. So regardless who I am, what I am, the divinity is always present in me. Otherwise, I won't be existing. Correct? So I don't have to wait for the darkness to go away to turn on the light, because it's always present. So here, all this darkness is my mind. And again, when I say the mind should go away, then we are using the same mind to make the action to negate the mind. So when we read the scriptures, we somehow misinterpret them because we don't have a meditative mind. So we have to using this actionable mind, not the meditative consciousness. So when it says the God, sorry, go ahead, Varsha, if you have a question.
No, it's just coughing.
All right. So what we are doing to exercise this higher essence, we still want to bring the actionable mind, not the conscious mind, which is beyond the real essence, the real wisdom. So what we are doing is to bring this essence into, or connect, which is already there. Now we are not bringing anything, it's already there. For it to connect, for us to comprehend, for us to feel the divine presence within, all that I need to do is give a supposition that the divine presence is within me and wait. In this waiting, because I am waiting for this higher presence, the consciousness takes over and our external mind drops off without any effort. The effort is required because we want to use the same mind to negate the mind. It's not going to happen. It's impossible. Right? Suppose I'm looking at the TV screen, I'm looking at all of you. With my open eyes, can I say I should not be seeing any of you? Is it possible? Either I have to turn my head the other way, or I have to close my eyes for not seeing you. Similarly, you cannot negate the mind with the mind itself. It's impossible. So because the scriptures have said you have to negate the unreal and invite the real, we do a lot of mental exercise to find out what is real and what is unreal. And we'll never get anywhere. It's like keeping the frogs out of the pond. Can you ever do it? I like that story. So when the bad genie appears to a guy, it's a bad lamp. And the genie says, if you don't keep engaging me in something, I'm going to kill you. So he says, build a nice, wonderful palace with gold, and palace is done. He says, put all the servants, done. I need the best chefs in the world, done. It's everything he asks, the genie is doing it in a splash, in a blink of an eye. So now he's worried, how can I engage a genie like this all the time? Otherwise, it's going to kill me. He says, without doing any magic trick, keep all the frogs out of the pond. And the genie is forever doing it. You keep one frog out, the other frog jumps in. And we are doing the same thing in negation. How many things can we negate? Whatever you negate comes back to you. So the negation in this sort of mental activity is not a good idea. The true negation happens when I go into meditative state, when the conscious inner mind takes over, the external mind drops off. Everything is negated in a second, in a splash. Just like when you turn on the light, the darkness goes away in the room. How much time it takes for it to go away? Almost instantly. Same thing happens here. In that state, I am the divine within. Once that feeling, once that connection happens in our meditation, all that I have to do is stay with that connection and attend to everything. Now I can perform all my mental actions, but my conscious mind already knew that connection. It stays in that remembrance. Whenever my mind, external mind, becomes free during the day, suddenly you feel this connection. It's already there. So you see, the constant remembrance is a very natural state. You don't have to do anything for it. But of course, what you need to do is meditate first to develop that remembrance. That is what the meditation does to us. For a meditative mind, remembrance is not about a name, not about a form, not about a guru or anything. Remembrance is about the divine presence within, and which is formless, nameless, attributeless. But only you know it because you experienced it. You cannot describe it in the words to anyone else. It's your personal space. It's your thing. That's why no one has put it in words. Because anything you put it into the word, you fail in defining it. That's why the seers have said it is neither this nor that. Neti, neti. So such a thing we are experiencing in every meditation. And one more point I would like to say today is, if the divine is infinite, that's how it is defined. Omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, sarvantaryami, everywhere, in everything. So experiencing such divine cannot be incremental or cannot be cumulative. The whole infinite, either you experience the entire infinite or feel the entire infinite, or no, nothing at all. It's either 0 or 1. But it is always 1. You always feel it in your meditation, in every meditation. So you can only experience it whole. You can never experience it part. That's why even the Vedas have described even the part is the whole. You cannot have a part for it. And we are listening to it all the time, and then we think it has to be an incremental progress. That means we are being one with the divine. The yoga so called we talk about, is happening, taking place in every meditation. Yoga is not in the future, it's in every meditation. Oneness is in every meditation. You get it? And what is the role of this transmission, the yogic energy, in our system, especially heartfulness? That transmission is nothing but making that divine essence evident for the non-sensitive, or the mind which has not experienced it. And Daji gives a beautiful example. When you turn on the fan, you feel the blow of the air. The fan is not creating the air is already there, but it is becoming evident. The air in the room is becoming evident for you. Same thing with the transmission, the divine presence which is already there becomes more evident for us. So that we can develop that remembrance, we can develop that constant yoga or connection, so that we in its perception gets refined more and more. It's like when the sun is there, when you're looking at the sun, some clouds might obstruct your view of the sun. In the night, sun is on the other side of the earth, but the sun is always there. But for these clouds to clear, it takes time. That is what we call the refinement. So as you practice more and more, and the infinity which you experience today, this is another important point, is not the same as tomorrow. The infinity you feel today is different, tomorrow is different. That is why we call it witnessing. When will I become a witness? I will become a witness only I don't have any preconceived notions. If I have a preconceived notion, I cannot be a witness to it. Suppose I am looking at a young kid or a girl. Without looking at that kid, I cannot say that kid might look like my niece. Can I say that? So somehow we are assuming so many preconceived notions about this divinity, and that's why we can never feel or experience. We can never be a witness if I have any preconceived notions. So whenever we are meditating, we are starting afresh. No, yesterday's meditation was deep. Today's meditation is not so deep. We kind of go with so many preconditions. So we drop all the preconditions when we close our eyes, and we are ready to experience it afresh. Yesterday what happened is done, past. Tomorrow what will happen, we don't know, if I am alive to see that meditation tomorrow. So today, right now, when the time is permitting, when your health is permitting, all your mental faculties are permitting, when your financial status is permitting, give it the full, so that this rendezvous with the higher essence can happen. And this is how we should approach every meditation. So I'll stop here for any comments or questions.
Shrikant, you always make it easier than it actually seems to me.
It is always easy. It's simple and easy. And that's what Babaji says, to achieve God is simple. So the practice must be also simple.
No, I said it seems simple, not it is simple.
It is simple. Even if I'll tell you, it seems simple and it is simple. We want to make it complicated because we have this notion of achieving something. If it is simple, then I have not achieved anything, right? Because of our notion of achieving something greater, we make the simple thing complex. But it is always simple. The process is simple, the means are simple, and I'm telling you, it is happening in every meditation. The goal is not far, it's already happened to you in every meditation. That's why it's spirituality is so easy and simple. Like I said, in religion we think we know God. So we precondition the God. In spirituality, we experience it afresh every time we close our eyes. And it's different. And it's refining all the time. Right? So that's why close your eyes and just wait. How will my meditation is going to be? Will I have thoughts? No thoughts? Doesn't matter. Will I feel good or bad? Doesn't matter. All these are external minds, notions. It's always wanting some stimulation. The external mind is always looking for stimulation, good or bad. If I eat a nice ice cream, yeah, good. My external mind is stimulated in one way. If I take a bitter medicine, it will stimulate it in the other way. But that's what we are looking for always. But when this mind becomes absent, all that comes into the forefront is the divine, which is there always, which has been there always. So, remembrance of the God is not a mental faculty. Know that. Once your mind becomes a meditative mind, means the conscious mind, you don't need any effort for that remembrance. It is natural and constant.